Hi everyone, this is End All Be All, and welcome to day three, the finals of the second week. The first two matches we did win pretty comfortably against Hagozario and Tit Goblin. My last opponent did not manage to clear my board, so that was good to see. In my final round, I was expecting to see the opponent from Shadowlands, but the other guy won the and came into the finals. So it's Algaroth from Order 66 41st Division. But just looking at the stats, I think this looks like a little bit of a mismatch in terms of the roster and the at least the lifetime banners. They do have more GP than me, but if you look at the lifetime banners, I've got about 260k. They've got about 191k, so it's about 73% of mine. So that's it's quite of a large gap. I think within 10%, I would say is still a close match, but this is 27% away, so I would think it's not as much as close. Um, if I look at their record, offensive and defensive records, their offensive record is not that great, 474 as opposed to 630 or so that I have, and their defensive holds are about half of what I have. So they tend to go offense heavy and defense light, which is what we'll see shortly. Nothing else to really call out over here. Let's just go in and take a look at the board. So I've kept my straight defense. So just looking at my opponent's initial defense, they've gone extremely offense heavy, and that's their style. So this is going to be an efficiency match. So my goal for this Grand Arena match is going to be efficiency. I need to score at least 1920 to be able to put some pressure on my opponent when they go. So I need to one-shot my opponent's board and put up a decent score with minimum 58 to 60 banners per match. So what I want to talk a little bit about is how we evaluate when you're going for an efficiency game, how you evaluate teams which you should keep on offense and what you should keep on defense. So each of the teams that I've kept, they have a, I would say I'm going to grade them by how well they are in an efficiency game to keep on offense in terms of efficiency, in terms of banner recovery, and how well the same teams will do on defense. So, as an example, if you take the GAS team, great on defense, it's one of the meta teams, so A over there. But on offense, if you go with a full team, there's no way to recover banners. There's a very high likelihood that you'll end up with 55, even less sometimes if you end up losing fives. So I would give it a B in terms of offense, not because they can't take out any other team, but because they can't recover banners there, and most likely they'll end up losing fives if you take it against a tougher team. So that's why I always prefer to keep gas on defense, especially since there are much better, more efficient counters to gas, which allow for 58 to 60 banner recoveries these days. Um, so that's the gas team. You can take gas solo and end up getting 63 banners against a medium-sized B team. So that is one way in which you can split the gas team with the rest of the clones. Maybe have Shakti lead the rest of the clones and take gas on offense in an efficiency game to be able to get those extra three or four banners. So that could be one way to do it. Your Shakti clones team, especially if all of them are relicked up, will still take a tough team to take out. So that can still be kept on defense. So that's one way of doing it. The next team, General Grievous, horrible team on offense in terms of banner recovery. I would give it a C over here. In terms of defense, is one of the most staple teams that you see on almost everyone's defense. So I would highly recommend keeping that team on defense. I split up my resistance, my BB-8 from the resistance squad, and kept that guy over here. So so that's going to be an interesting thing for my opponent to take against. Keeping BB-8 in there ensures that your whole team goes before, so it eliminates a lot of counters like EP or Sit Trio, especially if they are not geared up or leveled up. It makes all those counters extremely tough, and you're forced to go in with a very survivable team like Basti Lead or Padme, highly relic Padme team against a team like this. So that's the Grievous squad, and then the Darth Revan squad again, great on offense. If you can take it on offense, especially if your Dart Raven is fast enough, you can get a complete hold on the opponent, clear their whole team, and even undersize, you could maybe get 61, 62 banners, and you can take Malik separately as a as a solo character to get another 63, 64 banners. So that's another good team that you can split up on offense if you're playing an efficiency game. I just like to keep it on defense because it pulls a really great meta counter. Um, and then down south, what I've done this time, let's take a look. So down south, I have kept my Newt team, which is again one of the staples that you see, just like the GG squad. Newt is something you always see on defense, just because it's so hard to recover full banners against these guys. Extortion is such a great mechanic, and Newt has 2 lives. So if you combine Newt with Dooku and maybe Nest and one or two other hard-hitting characters, like Django, for example, that can be a very banner stealing team. Even if you take a meta squad against it, you will end up losing a few banners. So that's something I would definitely say A on defense, and on offense I would say it's a B. There's really not B or C. There's really not much way in which you can recover banners on offense. So I always keep the new team on defense, especially in an efficiency game. And then you have I've just kept a Vader squad in here with some dot synergy with Mission Zalbar and Wampa, and a pre-taunter in there. I'm just hoping that it pulls a decent counter over there. I'm just trying to make sure that there's no team that I leave on the board which can be trooperable. That's my main goal. And Night Sisters. In an efficiency game, I always like to keep my Night Sisters on defense, just because there's no way to recover protection banners. So at the max, you can end up with 55 to 58 banners depending on how well attacked your team is. But in most likelihood, it will be 55 or below banners, which is why, and these guys are really good at stripping banners from your opponent as well. So I would say B on offense in terms of banner recovery, but A plus on defense, especially if you've got them relicked up. They really take a tough team to take out. Um, and then Basti Lead is another team which is great on offense, just because of all the bonus protection that they give to the Jedi. I love taking Basti Lead with Wampa and Shakti and one or two other characters like that, Jedi characters. But I would also give it an A on defense, just because the added tenacity, the pre-taunt to the tanks, and the added bonus protection, which restarts every time you take another team in. All that is just amazing stuff to have in a defensive team. So I would give this an A even for defense as well. It allows you to still keep your Jedi Knight Revan, Jolie, and Grandmaster Yoda on offense, which can take out quite a few B teams just by themselves, just those 3 characters, and it still allows you to keep a decent Jedi team on defense without having to sacrifice too many other meta teams, and allows you to keep more meta teams on offense. So that's my defense. And at the top, I've kept Malevolence. Now here, especially if you don't have 7-star Malevolence, you're losing out on a slot for reinforcements. So you end up losing more banners when you take in this team on offense. Any ship, if you don't have a 7-star, I would lean towards keeping it on defense, just because you end up losing a few extra banners on offense. I typically, when I take my Malevolence on offense, I just get 56 to 58 banners. So it's not really very efficient. Typically in ships, you're looking at 62 to 64 banners. Ideally, you would want to get. So in an efficiency game, I keep my Negotiator on offense and keep the Malevolence on defense. So that's my board. Let's take a look at my opponent's board. They have their Grievous with Wat, which is something that they always keep on defense. They haven't varied it up their defense yet too much. If I take a look at their Grand Arena history, they've got decent sisters, not no relics on Spirit or Talzin, who can get really dangerous if they're relicked up. But Daka is pretty healthy. And then we have a relatively simple first order squad. And then down here, the one which is blocking the zone at the back, they've kept 2 very easy teams. So typically, you want to keep some tough or tricky teams over here. You want to make your opponent pay the tax of wasting a meta team to take these out. so that they can expose what's at the back. This one, I can take my non-meta teams in here to clear this, and still save all my big teams for once I reveal the back. So that's going to be my strategy. Let's go in and take some of these teams out. And I'm not trying to undersize or anything like that. I'll be happy with the 60. I'm not really trying for a 61 or 62. And I recommend, especially if you're playing first on offense, don't do things like that unless you're, absolutely outclassing the defense, or if you're chasing and you really think that you need 61 or 62 to win. Only in those cases I would undersize. Otherwise, I would always go with full size. So let's against the Karth team. The team I really like to use is First Order. There's just so much of stuns and control over here, and dispels as well, that I find this team pretty effective against it. And my team is definitely faster than the opponents. So right off the bat, I start with 2 stuns because I've clocked my Kylo to be slightly faster than my crew, to be slightly faster than my Hux. That's why I can do this first, pass the turn meter over to Kylo, and then do this. So right off the board, I start with the 2 characters who are stunned. Now I'm going to get some turn meter rolling, and I'm going to take down one of these guys. Let's do a mass assist. Almost down. Let's do this. Mission is stunned, luckily, so nothing is going to be be countered. Let's go get rid of this, and let's try to take out Candrass. And now let's keep working on the other characters. I'm going to use a basic on this guy so that he gets his taunt back, and he's got advantage, so I'm going to pass this back to him and stun this guy as well because he was about to go next. Okay, let's keep doing this. Alright, so we dispelled because my First Order Stormtrooper had advantage, so that helps him to dispel on basic. Okay, let's see if we can't land a stun. Excellent. Keep the taunt on Kylo. I think everyone is almost at full health and full protection. I'm going to pass this back to him so that he stuns him. And let's do this. Let's apply a healing immunity over here. And I actually want to get Juhani down because she's going to cleanse the stuns. Let's do a basic. You know what? I think let's just get rid of mission because Juhani is going to cleanse, but I don't think we can do anything about it. Maybe we can reduce a turn meter. That dosed. Okay, that's fine. Let's keep working on her. Alright, let's do this. Let's stun him and let's actually try to take him down. Let's just do a basic turn meter. Let's see if we can't do this. And I think everyone is at full health and full protection, so this should get them down. There we go. 60 banners, relatively straightforward. First Order is a very hard counter to Karth just because you've got 2 characters who are unaffected by dots, and there's tons of turn meter generation in the First Order team, and there's no days on the Karth team as well. So as long as you control them with stuns, it's a pretty straightforward battle. Okay, let's now this new team, there's no nest in here, so I save my Geos on offense. I rarely put them on defense these days because they're so easy to take out with Treya. So unless they're highly relicked up, I wouldn't advise putting them on defense. I would save them on offense. They're more bang for the buck on offense. And there's high chance that you end up with 60 banners. Most likely you might end up with 55 banners or so. But if you're able to stall out decently, then you might be able to to end up with the 60 banners from that team. Now at the back over here, I anticipate, if my opponent's history is any indication, I anticipate to see Geos, and he's got highly relic Geos over here, and I'll probably see a bounty hunter team at the back as well, probably a weak one. But let's go and take our Geos against this team and try for a 60, but most likely I think we might end up with the 55, but let's see. The reason I like Geos versus Newt is you can always use their dispel ability, the dispel of the extortion, to go and still call assists on everyone. Let's go and let's see if we can't do this over here. There, Wampa is down. I'm going to apply an ability block over here. I'm going to call Poggle. That didn't happen, so we'll just have to work through L3 first, and then we'll let's dispel this. Dooku will take care of himself, I think. And let's see, you can apply you can profit from there and then just go and take this guy out. Okay, that guy is gone. I don't think we need to heal right now. Let's see if Newt comes back, what he does. Okay, we still have full turn meter, so I think we are able to get this done with 60 banners, no issue. Okay, it was a relatively weak team. If Nest was in there, I would have had second thoughts about taking Geos in. If my spy was relicked up, my spy is only G12, but if my spy was relicked up, at least R3, R4 with good mods, then even Nest is not a problem. But yeah, so that's the reason I usually keep my Nest on defense with Newt as well, to prevent that. So as we expected, there's Bounty Hunter and Nest, and there's a highly relic Geos. That's interesting to see. Okay, so Django Lead usually keeps boss lead, but his boss is pretty fast, 302. With Django Lead means he's going to be 332, and there's a Nest in there, 233. Relatively decent tenacity, 127. These days you actually should be seeing 160 to 150% tenacity Nest. Those are the really effective ones, and as low speed as possible. This particular Nest is 233, but the really effective ones I've seen are absolutely low speed, which is why my Nest, the way that I've modded it, modded her, is for about 63k health, which is pretty decent. Almost no speed at all, 183, which is just +4 speed, and almost 160% tenacity. I did give a critical damage triangle as well to her, so that they're at about my Nest is about 200% critical damage with decent offense and tons of tenacity and extremely slow. That's the one which I find gives the most problem to my opponents. All right, so let me arrange my thoughts, and I'll get back in a few minutes, and then we can proceed with the attack phase. All right, I think we have a plan in place. Now, against the Wat General Grievous team, I typically tend to take my EP with Basti in there, and a lot of people like to use Sith trio, Treya, Nihilus, and Scion. I prefer to use the Thrawn Imperial Probe Droid version. It's usually proven effective to me, but you never know. But I'm going to just take this in, and as long as you're careful, I think it should do the job. So let's go in and see if this works. So he's going to give the taunting tech over there first. These guys are going to go. Ooh, they went really fast. I think, man, this is bad news. The turn meter train really wrecked me. That's weird. I thought that my Thrawn was fast enough for being greater than them, but this is really weird. 259, not that fast. Why did they take a turn first? 190. This is really weird. Why was my Thrawn not fast enough? Because I'm sure my Thrawn is about 308 or something like that. Unless I moved mods around. Huh, that's really weird. Anyway, that throws my plans off quite a bit. I'll need to make sure I have something heavy against that. So I'll probably need to use my Padme squad. I don't have a choice, especially since it's turn meter loaded now. So let's take this in and see if this does the job. Okay, come on, survive. Excellent. Now I need to apply some buff immunity or confuse. Um, let's try to take him out first. We've got 14 stacks. I think we can get rid of Wat and potentially not yet. Okay, this should let's see if this can get rid of Wat. Okay, now we need to target B2 Super Battle Droid. Let's land a stun. Confuse over here. We're surviving so far. Buff immunity, excellent. We need to get rid of the buff immunity. That's killing us. Let's continue working on B2. Man, this is touch and go. Just barely surviving. I don't think I'm going to do an AoE yet. I don't want to give B2 a turn. I was waiting for the heal, so let's heal up. Apply a confusion over here. Keep working on him. 12 stacks. Yeah, we need to keep working on this guy. Okay, survivable yet. All right, how many stacks do we have? Let's target this guy because you don't want to dip GG below full health. I don't think we'll be able to get rid of General Grievous with this. So let's just give this to Ahsoka so she gets some confuse and some extra health. And let's do this. All right. So we survived 35 banners, I think. But yeah, this was quite unfortunate. I mean, something must have been messed up with my Thrawn mods because all those characters were slower than my Thrawn, including Wat. And yeah, I need to review the video again to see what went wrong because my Thrawn I could have sworn was 307 speed and should have gone before them and passed the turn meter over. I need to recheck the mods that I have locked with. Although I don't know how I can do that since there's no way for me to see my Thrawn's mods right now. Anyway, that's unfortunate. So what we need to do is we will need to modify our plans a bit. I still want to take Jedi Knight Revan against the Django team over here with Nest, and I want to take Wat with the Rebels against the Geo squad, which means we might have to use bounty hunters against the sisters. Let's try that. And I'm going to use Basti Lead to recover health and protection. Okay, so let's start taunting. Now they're going to get plague out and we need to get our healing started. Okay, let's heal everyone. And let's apply some burning, some more healing. I want to completely get rid of the plague. And what I want to do is apply maybe can I get rid of sister? No, I think I'll just go apply some ability block on everyone. All right, and now I think I can get rid of 1000. There we go. Okay, so far so good. Now we get rid of Asajj so that she doesn't dispel the taunt anymore once the taunt comes around again. And then we do this to Spirit. Yes. All right. Now we just need to, everyone has been killed by Django or by Execute. So we just need to recover health on everyone and then we should be okay. I'm going to get Zombie down to 2 stacks. Let's do this. Yep, I think almost everyone is at full health and full protection. So we can get rid of Daka when we get the chance. All right, let's do this, and one final heal for good measure. Let's see what this does. And let's do this. Okay, so 60 banners here. We need to make sure we get at least 60 everywhere else, because this means that we'll probably end up with close to 1910. So yeah, not ideal, but that's what we'll have to do. Now, before I face these two squads, I'm going to go in over here with my resistance squad. I don't think I have any other option. It's a relatively weak first order squad, not too fast, but I think I can go in with my resistance squad to get the job done. And what I want to try is, I want to try Lead over here, because these guys get days and a lot of good stuff. And let's see, who do I want to take in? Or maybe I should just go with my okay, let's just take in with our JTR. I think she's a superior leader. I definitely do want to take my Finn in. Who else do I want to take in? Maybe my 2 resistance heroes. Who else? Resistance trooper. I have 1 taunt, and I've got a lot of inspire, and I've got resistance trooper who's going to be taking plenty of turns. Let's try this. There's no BB-8, so that's always unfortunate. And they did go first, but I'm going to reduce this, and let's see what this does. Let's do that, and let's target this guy so he comes out of taunt. Let's get rid of that, and let's start taunting with this guy. And do I want to inspire? Let's do this. Let's try to take out that guy, first order executioner and first order officer. There we go. This is executioner. Let's do this. All right, let's target Ray to get inspired. Let's do this to this guy. I don't want him doing any retribution. Let's call this guy, get the healing immunity off him, heal everyone. Okay, stunned him. Let's start working on him. Get some heals up. Let's pass this over to Poe. Let's inspire him. Now that's good. We are I think just missing a little bit of protection off of Finn. Let's do this. Heal them up, and then I'm going to use damage immunity. Let's heal up some more. All right. Now we just need to get this guy down. I think I might get 58. I don't know if I'll be able to delay any more. Nah, 58 probably. Okay, that's fine. 58. That loss was not ideal at all. I'm really pissed off about that. I don't know what happened out there. Okay, they've kept their malevolence, which is fine. We should be able to take care of that. Let's go down south over here. And against the bounty hunter team, I want to take just these guys. These guys should be more than enough. Bounty hunter and nest. Let's go in over here and see how much what we're able to do against this. I want to go after Django first. Let's do that. And let's spread some buffs around, offense up and all of that. Let's give this to Yoda. Let's get rid of Bosk once and for all. Okay, let's pass this to him. And now let's do this for Django. Let's take Boba out once. Let's heal everyone. And let's pass this back to him. Okay. Spread these buffs around. Let me put some healing back over here. Basic. Okay, didn't take him out. That's good. Let's keep healing some more. Probably end with 59. Okay, missed a couple of banners. That's fine. All right, now for the Geo squad, since my own Treya is not as well developed, Treya and Scion, so I will need to use another squad which is also high in banner recovery, especially against the Geo squad. I'm hoping for a full 60 banners against the Geo squad, since it is pretty relicked up, but with Stormtrooper Han and Wat in there, it's a pretty solid combo. And they end up Stormtrooper Han his protection barely gets scratched with all of that. And obviously Han Solo and Chewie will be doing all the damage, with Vandor helping to recover protection on everyone. So the good thing about the Geo squad is they don't have any AoEs, and they do have some dispels, but it's not going to work if the taunting tech is on Stormtrooper Han. So I'm hoping to end with 60 banners with this match. I think about 4 or 5 of them. 4 of them are relicked up. So, which is why, yeah. So let's go ahead and put the taunting tech on Stormtrooper Han, weapons tech on this guy, and keep working on these guys as much as I can. AoEs whenever you can, because that takes up loads of their health. So look at that. Protection barely gets scratched. Where is Spy? Let's do this. And let's keep this on Vandor so that he's always buffed and the damage gets reduced. There we go. Let's keep some protection up, just for good measure, and then let's start working on these guys. AoE. Yeah, his protection is not going to go down. And we'll end with full 60 banners over here. Excellent. So apart from that one slip up, which I'm sure must have been because of some missing mods on Thrawn, we did pretty okay in the rest. We got 58 to 60 banners in almost all of the matches. We'll probably end with close to 1910. He does have a good Malevolent squad. Only 6-star, but he's got a 7-star Hyena Bomber and Vulture Droid. So we are going to take our best squad against that, which is going to be the Galactic Republic. And yeah, let's just take our standard Galactic Republic. And I'm going to go with Rex as well over there, because he can help recover some protection. Should I go with Rex, or you know what? I might decide to go with this one, the Ebenhawk, because it the reinforcement ability is dispel target lock from all allies, dispel all buffs on all enemies. So what's going to happen with the Malevolent squad is you're going to have Spy or Soldier in stealth most likely by the time if the battle drags on for that late. So Ebenhawk will help to dispel that and take care of the battle there. But let's hope it doesn't come to that. Actually, I'm wondering, should I even take that? I might get an extra slot for reinforcement. You know what? Doesn't matter. I'm not going to risk it. I want to have a one shot over here. All right. So my approach is always target Hyena Bomber first and try to get him down as soon as possible. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply buff immunity on Sunfax so that he's not always taunting, and I can go after Hyena Bomber at my leisure. A 7-star Hyena Bomber is tough to take out. It's a little problematic, but it should be fine. Takes a little while, but should be okay. All right, so if I call Plo in, if I call Ahsoka in, she's going to dispel the taunt over here on Hyena Bomber, and then Sunfac will taunt because his buff immunity has been cleared. So I'm just going to call in Clone Sarge because there's a very high likelihood that my Houndstooth might get taken out. This should take care of it. Yes, Hyena Bomber is gone. Now let's take care of Sunfac. Let's give offense up over there. So I need to take care of one Hyena Bomber and one, not Hyena Bomber, but one Vulture Droid and one Sunfac. Okay, I think the original Vulture Droid is gone. I'm going to call in Plo over here because there's a lot of Buzz Droids on the field that I want to clear. And I want to give everyone some protection up. Let's keep working on Sunfac. Maybe, you know, I should target this one, the IG-88, but let's get rid of Sunfac first because IG-88 is the only ship left and it can't go under stealth. Let's give this to him. Okay, let's just get rid of Sunfac, and now it's just yep, this should take care of the final ship. Okay, not too bad. I think we got 63. Yeah, anywhere between 62 to 64 I'm okay with. But let's see where we ended up. 1908. Yep, as I expected. Not ideal. I wanted more than 1920, and yeah, this loss of 20 banners over here was not good. But yeah, that's the end of my attack phase. I'll be curious to see how my opponent does. They will most likely go ahead and one-shot everything that I have on board. They've got yeah, they've got everything on offense. Padme, CLS. They've got their own gas as well as Darth Revan. So they're not going to have an issue. It just remains to be seen how many banners they lose on this. 33. So that means, let me do some quick math. 24. So I think they need to get 57 banners on average. If they one-shot my board, they need to get 57 banners on average to be able to beat me. So let's see if that happens. And I will give you guys an update in a couple of minutes. All right, so my opponent finally attacked, and they cleared me with 1881 banners. So I won by about a little less than 30 points. So they one-shot my whole board with the exception of the new team over here at the back. Had a little problem with it. Three battles total. So that team held a couple of times. So that helped me secure the victory. Otherwise, the rest of the board was one shot without any problem, including the top section. Not surprising since my opponent had everything for offense. So I was expecting to be one shot. So that battle is done, but I was really thinking about this particular team. What's been bothering me a lot about this team is I wanted to know exactly what was happening out there, why their whole team went first and did not give my team a single chance. And I dug into it, and firstly, I tried to check the mods for my Thrawn, and the first two Grand Arena battles that I had this week, the mods were fine. My Thrawn was at 303 speed, so faster than all the other characters over here. But I did discover one other thing which happened on reviewing the video, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that, which is one of the risks I think that you need to consider if you're taking an EP team with Bastila against a Grievous team with Wat. There's one thing that you really do need to consider, and that is B2 gets a bonus turn anytime that an ally is evaded. So what ends up happening is, let me show you the separatist squads. So obviously, even though my Thrawn was the fastest amongst all the enemy characters, Wat is going to go first because Wat has got a unique which makes him put the tech on the tank, and once that happens, because B1 is in there, B1 assists anytime that let's see, what is the thing? Yeah, so B1 assists anytime another separatist ally uses an ability. So Wat going first using an ability to put the taunting tech on Magna Guard counts as using an ability. So B1 is going to assist. Now, who is he going to assist? It could be any one of the 5 characters that you have on board. And in my case, since I had a Zeta on Bastila Shan, there were 2 characters on board who had Foresight, which is Bastila Shan Fallen as well as EP, the Sith Lead. And that means since the Foresight was there, and if B1 happens to target one of those 2 and assists, then B1 essentially gets evaded. And once that happens, due to B2's unique, every time that an ally is evaded or damaged by an attack, B2 has a 40% chance to get 100% turn meter. So 2 things are happening. One, there's about since there are 2 characters out of 5 who have Foresight, there's about a 40% chance for B1 to select one of those characters to attack when Wat puts his tech on. And if he gets evaded, there's another 40% chance for B2 to get full 100% turn meter. And when that ends up happening, B2 is going to go next immediately after Wat, regardless of how fast your characters are. B2 is going to go next and spread the debuffs around. And then the turn meter train gets rolling, and it's very difficult to recover from there, which is why my team ended up not taking a single turn, and B2 and team essentially just mowed through them. So that definitely is one risk that you need to consider when you're taking, especially if your own Bastila is Zeta'd. That's one thing that you need to consider when you're taking it against a GG-Wat team, that there's a 40% chance for B1 to select EP or Bastila to attack on his assist, and then there's another 40% chance for B2 to get full 100% turn meter, so that and that can make things very bad. So which is why I think against GG-Wat teams I'll probably stop using the EP counter, because there is a slight chance that counter can go south. I would stick with more survivable teams like Padme or Jedi, or stuff like that. Maybe even Darth Revan, I think, will do just fine. So that's the little takeaway that I had from that battle. All right, so that's about it. I think we're done for this particular week. We have a couple of days break before we move on to the next round. So catch me in a few days when we go to week three. Hopefully, we'll have a few more good battles for you then. All right, take care and catch you guys later.